The sun had just begun to set, casting an orange hue over the broken rooftops and rusted tin sheds that lined the neighborhood. It was just another quiet evening for Noah, a humble mechanic working late to fix a worn-out engine, until he heard it. A muffled sob. It was so soft, he almost thought it was the wind. But when he looked up, he saw her. A little girl, no more than 8, sitting alone beside a pile of tires near his garage. Her head was bowed, her arms tightly wrapped around herself. And when Noah gently called out to her and she slowly looked up, he saw something in her eyes that unsettled him, fear, and a kind of hopelessness he hadn't seen in a child before. But nothing could have prepared him for what he would find hidden under her jacket just moments later. Noah had been working at his rundown garage on the edge of town for nearly 10 years. With peeling paint on the walls and a sign that barely hung on one hook, he never had much, but he had dignity. Life hadn't been kind to him, but he kept his head up, patching tires and replacing engines for half the price most charged. People said he was too kind for his own good. But Noah believed that kindness was the only thing this world couldn't afford to lose. That evening, he was working alone, wiping the grease from his hands when he saw the little girl. Her clothes were oversized and filthy, her shoes barely clinging to her feet. She flinched when he took a step closer, so he stopped and spoke gently. "Hey there, sweetheart, you okay?" he asked. The girl didn't answer. She looked down again, hugging herself tighter. Something about her silence made his heart sink. "I've got a sandwich and a soda inside," he said, trying to offer comfort. "You're welcome to have it." Still nothing. But then he saw her shiver, her teeth clattering slightly from the cold. It was still early spring, but the evenings could get bitter. Noah took off his flannel and offered it to her. That's when he noticed something odd. Her jacket moved. Not like a twitch or nervous movement. No, like something inside it shifted. Before he could ask, the girl pulled the edges of her jacket tighter. Her tiny arms protectively enclosed around her midsection, and for a brief moment, Noah saw something: fur. "Sweetheart," he whispered, kneeling down to her level, "what are you hiding?" Her eyes welled with tears. And then, trembling, she slowly unzipped her jacket. Inside was a tiny, sickly puppy. Barely breathing. Covered in grime and cuts, its little chest rose and fell like it was fighting for every breath. "I found him, in the alley," the girl said softly, finally speaking. "He was crying. Just like me." Noah felt his throat tighten. She looked down at the puppy, then at Noah. "Please, don't make me give him up." He couldn't answer right away. His mind swirled. He could barely afford his own meals, and the vet bills for a dog? Impossible. But then again, could he turn them away? "What's your name?" he asked gently. "Lily," she replied. "And where's your mom or dad?" The little girl looked down again, her lip trembling. "I don't know my dad. And Mom, she's gone. They took her away. I ran." Noah felt like the world had suddenly stopped spinning. This wasn't just a stray girl. She was homeless. Alone. Scared. And clutching onto the only life she had left, a dying puppy. Without another word, he stood up, reached into his pocket, and pulled out a handful of crumpled bills, his day's earnings. He didn't count it. He just stuffed it in his back pocket and motioned for her to follow. "Come on," he said. "We're going to get your little friend some help." The vet's office was almost closed, but after explaining the situation, the woman behind the desk, Dr. Harper, agreed to see them. She was stern at first, skeptical, but one look at the girl and the puppy changed her demeanor. The puppy had several infections, was dehydrated, and suffering from a broken leg. "This will cost at least a few hundred to treat," Dr. Harper warned gently. "I'll need approval to proceed." Noah didn't blink. "Do whatever it takes." "But," the vet began. "I'll find a way," he cut in. He stayed with Lily in the waiting room as the treatment began. She hadn't spoken much, but she slowly leaned her head against his arm. He didn't move. He just let her rest. As the hours passed, Dr. Harper finally returned with a faint smile. He's going to make it. But he'll need rest. Antibiotics. Food. And warmth. Noah nodded, his heart lifting for the first time in hours. Back at the garage, Noah fixed a small corner into a makeshift home, a cot with old blankets, a food tray for the puppy, and a heater he hadn't used in years. Lily smiled as she curled up next to the puppy, whispering to him stories and humming lullabies. Noah watched from the doorway, feeling something he hadn't felt in years: purpose. Over the next few weeks, Lily stayed with Noah. He'd contacted child services, but explained the situation, and they allowed temporary guardianship as they investigated. He worked during the day while Lily helped sweep the floors and fed the puppy, who she named Buddy. Soon, the town began to notice. Customers started donating food, toys, even offering jobs to help. An old woman gave them a second-hand bed. A man whose car Noah had fixed for free years ago brought insulation for the garage. One day, a black SUV pulled up. A well-dressed couple stepped out. The woman walked toward Noah with tears in her eyes. "Are you the man who's been taking care of Lily?" "Yes," Noah said, cautious. She introduced herself as Lily's aunt, her mother's sister, who had been desperately searching for her since her mother was taken in for medical treatment. Lily was hesitant at first, but when her aunt knelt down and wept, hugging her tightly, she began to cry too. "You're not taking Buddy," Lily whispered. "He stays with me." Her aunt smiled. "Of course, sweetheart. He's family too." They offered Noah a reward. He refused it. But instead, they offered him something else, an opportunity to open a real shop. A garage, fully equipped. A new beginning. Sometimes the smallest cries echo the loudest in the hearts of those who are willing to listen. A poor mechanic with nothing but a kind heart saved more than a puppy that day. He saved a soul on the edge of breaking. And in return, he found a family, a new purpose, and proof that when you give with nothing to gain, the universe always finds a way to give back. Because kindness doesn't need a reason. It just needs a heart.